in this video, we are going to talk about how to do a division uh, using the traditional way, the way that it's normally done. And because the numbers are not uh, the between the dividend and the divisor, so it's not that it is a complete factor. So there will be quotient and remainder. We can do it quotient and remainder. We can leave them as such, or we can do a decimal division, and that is what we are trying to do over here. So let's say if you have 6 and you are trying to divide it by 5. So 5 goes into 6 one times, and after that, it gives a remainder of 1. We do not leave over here, we are not leaving it as quotient remainder, but we take it to the next step. In other words, it's decimal. We have added it because 1 is less than 5. So we put a decimal and we put a 0, and it goes into it 2 times, and that's answer. That is 5 times 1.2 is 6. So that is the quotient in the decimal format. Let's say if you had 29 and you were doing the same thing. So 4, 7 is 28. Get 1, but 1 is less than 4, so you put a decimal, you put multiplied by 10, 2 is 8, 20, and it goes into it 5 times, so you get 20. If you are wondering that why do we put decimal, it is just because if you were to add something uh, and multiply it by 10, like if your 1 becoming 10 means that you're multiplying it by 10, you should also divide it. And that's what the decimal does over here. Likewise, you have 8634. So if you were to do it, 634 divided by 8. So 8 goes into 63 7 times, because 8 times 8 is 64. So 8, 7 is 56. And so 63 minus 56 is 7. And so 7 is here. And then you take the next number, that is 4. Because the next number will come as is. And 8 is less than 74. It goes into it 9 times. So it is 72. So now you have 2. 2 is less than 8. So we put a decimal and we multiply it by 10. So it becomes 20. So 8 goes into 20 2 times, 16. And you get 4 as a balance. Now 4, because you have the decimal, you have already done so. So you get multiply, it becomes 10. And 8 goes into 40 5 times, so it is 79.25. One of the ways when we are doing also the division is that when in the numerator, like you can have something like, let's say, 29 can be instead of 29, let's say that it is 0.29 divided by 0.004. So when we see something like this, we should try to eliminate the decimals both from the numerator and the denominator. So first of all, over here, as you can see that it is 0.29, and in the numerator, there are 2 decimal places, and in the denominator, there are 3. So because we have to move in the denominator, if we were to remove it, we have to move 3 decimal places, so it becomes 3 hops. So in the numerator, you must put another 0, and that becomes 1, 2, 3, so it is 290 by 4. And then you can go about solving the problems. If in the denominator, now let's say that it was 0.29 and it was 0.4. So we will be moving the decimal place over here, but we can do it over here. So it becomes 4 and then it becomes 2.9. So as long as the divisor is a whole number, you can start the division process. So now you can do 2.9. So you divide it by 4. 2 is less than 4, so you take the decimal place and it goes into it 7 times because now you have 28, 29. So 7 times it goes 1. Decimal is there, so we get put a 0. 4 goes into 10 2 times, 8. Subtract it, and then we get 0.725. So this is the important thing, that if you get something, the decimals in both the numerator and denominator, the key to remember is that in the denominator, you should not have the decimals. So you should turn that into a whole number. And when you're doing so, if you're moving the decimal by 3 digits to the right or 2 digits to the right, you do the same thing in the numerator. And whatever you get at the end, then that becomes your dividend in the numerator. And in the denominator, you have a whole number, which is your divisor. And then you're able to do it because the divisor is a whole number over here. I hope you learned how to do the division and also the decimal division. If you still have questions, you can reach out to this channel owner or watch this video one more time to get an understanding of how it's done. Thank you.